the only native trout in the Bonneville Basin, so that encompasses most of Utah, a little bit of Idaho and Nevada. They're pretty uniquely adapted to the desert environment. They can withstand really high stream temperatures, yet they also live in areas that are extremely cold in the winter. Some of the lowest temperatures in the lower 48 are recorded right here in the heart of the Bear River watershed, which is where we're standing today. We're on a tributary to Bear Lake called Fish Haven Creek, and this is a spawning tributary for some of the migratory Bonneville cutthroat trout that come up out of Bear Lake to spawn. These are big fish-eating piscivores, if you will, that are really fun to look at, and we've done a lot of reconnection and restoration efforts on this stream to allow them to come up and spawn naturally in some of the historic spawning grounds. First step was to screen irrigation diversions along this system so that once we let fish move back up, they don't end up being entrained and killed in irrigation diversions. That was done in 2008 and 2009. In late 2009, we pulled out a long, about 300-foot long box culvert that was a migration barrier to 98% of returning fish. What this structure is called is a bottomless arch culvert. If you haven't seen one before, it's 12 feet wide, 230 feet long. It's got concrete footings that are poured 3 feet deep below both sides of it with a keyway. That arch is dropped and locked in place, grouted in, and then the weight of the structure above it holds it in place. This spring in 2010 is the first time in 60 years, thereabouts, that fish have been able to get up into this system and spawn naturally.
Look at that thing. Fills the frame. That's a 10-pound behemoth. Right on the red.
One of the real values of protecting native trout here is that they've evolved with the climactic conditions that we see. Bonneville cutthroat trout can withstand really high stream temperatures. Other trout need cool water throughout the whole year. Bonneville cutthroat are no different, but they can withstand stream temperatures that kill and are lethal to brown trout, lethal to rainbow trout, and lethal to brook trout. So they can populate and live in streams that no other trout can in this region. When I was around 10 years old, my dad was a biology teacher, and he brought me up and taught me about Bear Lake cutthroat trout pretty early on. And at that time, it was obvious that one of the limiting factors was spawning habitat. And there's all these beautiful creeks that have wonderful stream flow in them, and I just felt like something needed to be done to reconnect one. It's just as a little kid, I've always kind of been a fish guy. So working on this project is really the realization of a dream for me. And this spring, with that barrier out, and we're working with monitoring these fish coming up and seeing them swim right through what before had stopped them, and seeing them spawn here in the clean gravel for the first time in 60 years has been special. Yeah, very rewarding work. And I think that'll stick with me.